And the last question, or one of the last questions she asked me before I got on with you, I was talking about despair is too strong a word because I don't. If you're a person who lives in Christian hope, despair is a thing that I don't want to lean into. Um, but this feels like a very dark time, in terms
Mm,
of anti-democratic backsliding and increased racism and anti-immigrant sentiments.
mm,
And she asked me, "Do you ever get mad at God?" And I said, I got mad at God because I didn't realize that I was actually mad at the people of God,
mm.
the manifestation, the presentation of God that I had gotten through these Southern Baptist churches in Georgia, North Carolina, and Oklahoma. And, so I fled from that for many years, as James Baldwin talks about after he left the church of his youth, where he was like a star teenage preacher. And I was fortunate enough to find this church in East Austin, Texas. And there are a set of life circumstances that surround this, and I'll be very brief about it because I've written about this at some length. But at the darkest moments of my life, when
Mm,
I was suffering from life-threatening depression, I was rescued by a historically Black church in East Austin.
mm,
And, we talk about Holy Spirit moments. I didn't know what I was doing there. I had sworn I would never set foot in the doors of a church again. But I was rescued by this church and loved back to life and given a framework that I had always believed should be there, that faith that's not married to justice is dead. Dr. King talked about an irrelevant social club.
mm.
And so this church rescued me 20 some years ago, sent me off to seminary. And when the rector of my church said, "We think you are supposed to go to seminary," I said, "That is the stupidest thing I have ever heard." And then I did it because we discern in community.